Are you gonna talk about that Kickstarter?
I'll highlight it because going into that, it could be a whole fucking episode's worth of content
Well,
itself.
that's good because
But
we ain't talking about this game. Welcome to Games Gone By.
Hello.
Hello.
Well, to the meme game.
welcome to the Slam Jam.
Yes.
You know,
Welcome.
Welcome to Games Gone By, the series we go back and look at some really good games. You know, Dead Space, Undertale, Inside, Doki Doki Literature Club, God of War, and Barkley shut up and Jam Gaiden.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Well, you know what? You say that, but I've heard of this game for at least a few years.
Since 2014, right?
Yeah, that's when it came out. That's what David said, at least.
2008 is actually the original release.
Yeah,
So
I know.
it's the oldest part.
The only release.
And the technical full title of this game is Tales of Game Studios presents Chef Boyardee's Barkley Shut Up and Jam Gaiden, Chapter 1 of the Hoops Barkley Saga.
Yeah, what happened in Chapter 2?
Well, Hoops Barkley, that's not...
It's in Kickstarter hell.
Oh, hell? You mean scam, right?
We're gonna talk about this because I was gonna watch a video on that and I missed the last part because I got busy. So David's gonna fill me on the Kickstarter part. All right, David, let's talk about this again. Why'd you pick it?
So I picked it because this is a game I've known about for a long ass time, and I've really wanted to play it. And a lot of controversy has been coming around as of late through YouTube because of the Kickstarter for the second game. A lot of channels I follow have talked about it, and it's one of those things that after we've been kind of going through these things, I've honestly been struggling to think of, honestly, on some level, what we could all play. Because, like I mentioned before, I want to pick stuff that you guys are gonna possibly enjoy on some level, and I've been having it.
You failed.
All right, spoiler alert. I guess Adrian, unless he's pulling a me from last time, really didn't like this game.
I can assure you he's not.
Yeah, we've talked about this. Spoiler alert. I had to vent to Gore a couple times before some games Overwatch.
He came out like he was like in some prisoner of war camp.
So he starts to call. We started to call out more civil when us two, like, hey, what's up, man? But I started to call. He's like, hey, what's up? I'm like.
This fucking game. What game, man?
We'll talk about it.
But no, so I wanted something to have a little bit of fun. I've been having an RPG itch as well, and where I don't know, aside from newer stuff, like we were talking about in the podcast proper, I want to go back and play even older games, but where I don't know what older console you guys readily have access to.
Fucking Chrono Trigger or some good shit like that.
Chrono Trigger really long.
I don't give a fuck. It felt probably as long as fucking Barkley Shut Up and Jam Gaiden.
Yeah,
I'll stop talking shit and I'll stop derailing. Sorry.
Talking shit. It's fun. I don't mind.
But no, so that's why I picked that. Sadly, sounds like I was wrong. This is not a game that we all had fun with, but for what it's worth, I thoroughly enjoyed myself.
I'm glad you did. We'll talk about it in Impressionist. Oh, I guess we'll just fuck it. We'll start with you guys first. Let's get the positivity out of the way.
I just want to say so. I didn't hate it.
Yeah, no, I'm talking on my behalf. I'm not talking for Gore. I'm talking on my behalf. Gore, go
I didn't hate it.
Talk about your impressions.
I thought it was commendable that they stuck with
the meme,
with everything, and they tried to make it into something. I think the gameplay is pretty fun for the most part. I think it actually has a good combat system. I like it. I got really sick of the story pretty quick. but even though I got sick of the story, there were still moments here and there that made me laugh. But we'll get to it. That's my quick thoughts right now. We'll get into it more.
All right, David, you go first.
So he loved it. I'm like in the middle.
we got the full spectrum, baby. Finally,
yeah, it's like an Oreo cookie.
It took someone deciding not to play a fucking critically acclaimed game to fucking do this shit.
Yeah, technically it did get critical acclaim, I think, somewhere.
Yeah, this is actually a pretty well received.
Fuck off! Tell me your fucking impressions.
I don't like it.
I
loved it.
I liked it.
Yeah.
No, I liked it. The music is fantastic. I liked it quite a bit. The story, it's not strong, but it's a parody game. The story isn't what the main focus is. It's absurd. The literal premise is just like, what if Space Jam was real? You know, is Space Jam canon? And that's actually my first note I have about this game.
What if Space Jam was real?
This is like if one of us assholes decided to make a game based on one of these fucking stupid ass called "What if Giant Sonic was really in fucking Smash?"
So this is exactly what led to the creation of this game. The team was inspired after reading an awkward phrasing on a Wikipedia article about Michael Jordan, where there was the fan debate over whether or not the movie Space Jam was canon, without it ever specifying if it was about Looney Tunes proper or Michael Jordan's real life. So they decided to go off the premise of what if it was real to Michael Jordan's life, and continued on the thought process from there.
Stick on impressions so we can go through history altogether.
Now, wait, was Barkley in Space Jam? I don't even remember.
Yeah.
They talk about him like he was in there.
He was.
Yeah. He was one of the basketballers that had their power drained. Remember five?
I don't remember that. Hey, when I watched Space Jam, I was a kid. And if you still watch Space Jam, you're fucking weird.
Actually, I just watched. I didn't actually. I had it on the background. I didn't actually watch it, but it was like maybe like 3 or 4 months ago.
Yeah.
I want to get Space. I've always wanted a Space Jam jersey. Toon Squad? Hell yeah, dude.
That's in my reserve because every so often I have buddies. I'm like, hey, let's watch a bad movie. So I'm like, all right, that's then next to my lineup for bad movies to go back to.
I'm sure it's a great film.
No.
There it is. Look at that steelbook. Wow.
From hero to villain.
Yeah. I like how you said canon, like if it was based on his story, but like every time Michael Jordan showed up, he was a fucking asshole. Which I guess supposedly he was kind of an asshole in real life. Like, like he let the fame get to him. But to the point where he's like, anyway, yeah, we should
keep it on.
But yeah, no, I liked it. I thought the music was pretty good, and throughout the game, there was a lot of times I chuckled. Some jokes didn't land as hard as they could have.
There was one that I died for about a minute. We'll get to it.
Is it the one you took a picture of?
No.
No. Oh, that's another thing too. The same. There are some things.
Impressions.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay. Music was good.
What? Combat?
I didn't like the game. It was cute what they were trying to do with like, oh, we're making like the battles like sort of interactive. It's not just attack this person. There's some stuff there. Cool.
It's like 1,000 Year Door.
Yeah, a better game.
This is some guy.
I don't know. This game should have been a 2 or 3 hour game max. Like it should have been I
agree. It should have been like 3 hours.
It felt like they were like, I thought at first, like I was kind of like, okay, I get the joke, and some of it was already way too much. Like every time hitting the save point, and they make jokes about it too, and I'm like,
you mean David? You hit the David save point.
You know what? Actually, that I didn't think about that until you mentioned.
Well, you should play Tunelico. I'm like, fuck you. And then at the end, it gets really weird. Man,
that last save point was fucked.
You know what? I sped past the text for that until I got to the questions. I was like, oh, I know the first half of it.
I did too, but I like read it really quick. I
just held the fucking buttons. I went shh.
Yeah, well, it's very weird. It's very. I was gonna say weeaboo.
That's no from me, Doc.
That's a yes.
No, I read most of it, but then when I got to the end, I was like, I'm done with this game. Fucking move on.
Sure. At the end, it gets really. There's one. I'm just like, whoa.
Yeah, that last save point is fucking dark.
I don't even think it was the last one. I think it was like second to last.
What did it say?
It was talking about how like eroji, is that what it's called? Like hentai games are cool, and that like.
Oh, why do we look down on people that think they're attractive because they're this age or something like that or some weird shit?
Yeah, because they keep calling it pedophilia.
Yeah.
It was weird,
dude. So like
that gas pump was an asshole.
That I don't know. It felt like the joke lasted like way overstayed its welcome. Like that fucking game started to drag at some point. The dialogue, like it was too much. It was so much filler. Like that. That's and I get JRPGs talk a lot. That's the point. But this had a joke there if they condensed it. It had a joke, but it just felt like, when we're in a call, we make a joke, but we keep going. But we know it's funny to us, so we keep going. But it's like, I know if anyone came into our call from the outside at this point, they'd be like, "What the fuck are you talking about now?" Now it's just annoying, and that's kind of what it felt like. I felt like, all right, these guys they're kind of running with it a little bit too much in the ground.
Sure.
Like
if someone got into hour 4 not playing any of the rest of the game, they'd be very confused. But I also assume even if you played hour 1, you'd still be confused and not understand the joke.
There was just shit we didn't need. Like
I don't really get the joke still. There's no real joke there. It's just weird.
No, because it felt like it was a weird like hybrid of this is a joke, but we're still trying to make a story out of it. And I'm like, I don't really care. Like, if you either stick with the joke or stick with the story, because I'm not following. I'm right in the middle. I don't really give a fuck about either of them.
There was one joke that was good, actually. Just thinking about it, there's one
running
joke that is the Marine, his wife
the
one.
Build up to the end.
Was the build up to the end. Because do you want me to explain the entire joke or no?
Well, yeah. Hold on.
Okay.
No. So there were some parts I understood, but and also I don't like playing on PC, so that was a thing too. If it was like,
oh yeah, my fingers are hurting.
Yeah.
Like, especially when you have to like do cyber dwarf stupid shit, where you have to like hold like
tap
and stuff.
I hate playing. But
you have to remember combos too if you want to like throw them or whatever.
I threw them like twice. I'm like, cool. I'm never doing that again.
Yeah, you don't really need to do it. I never had to do it that much.
Anyway, we'll talk more about that.
The game is very easy.
What was the joke?
The joke is like the entire game until like the last hour. Barkley's talking about how he misses his wife. He loves his wife, Maureen. Oh man, I want to see her again. He just loves his wife so much. He feels bad that he's the reason why she died. And then at the end of the game, they introduce a character, a god, right? The god that will like mess with you and like put something in front of you, a big desire that you really want. And then it shows Cyber Dwarf. He wants his regular dwarf skin back. It's weird. If you never play this game, this doesn't make any sense.
Why are you watching?
The kid Hoops doesn't want anything, so he doesn't show anything. And then the other character, who's the other character? Balthios wants literature or whatever. And then it gets to Barkley, and immediately he's the last one. So I was like, okay, so it's gonna be Marie. You go in, and he's just like ink and gold. I'm like, what? And it's like, oh, I want that bad. And then.
And he's also the only one to fall for it. He's just like, no, I gotta have me that gold.
I thought that was funny because it was a nice subversion. Because I was just like, it's gonna be Marie, okay, ink and gold. Which I was like, is that a joke about Charles Barkley? Some weird shit about him? Like he likes gold or something? Like no, it was just some weird shit.
Yeah, because they even touched on it again.
No. I mean,
no, because that was literally just the punchline.
That was a punchline. Even that god doesn't really come back, does he?
No.
He does in the sequel.
Oh, well, yeah, the sequel that we'll definitely get.
Yeah. So go on the history of it right now.
All right. So originally released in 2008, the game was originally designed to be an RPG Maker game, but they ended up switching to Game Maker because it had a lot more versatility. It was designed by Tales of Game Studio, who is a group of amateur game development studio people. They got together on a game development forum and decided to work on this together. The key members go by Chef Boyardee, Bort, GZ, and Quackgiver, and they had a little bit of help with a few other
forum
people.
names.
And the game, as I mentioned, it was inspired by that Wikipedia entry. They're just like, fuck it. We'll go ahead and we'll just run with this as an idea. And while designing it, the part of the reason why the game is also kind of weird and there's a disconnect between the jokes and the stories is they decided that whenever they would make a comment about something being canon initially, they're just like, fuck it. That's just how it's always going to be. We don't go back. So, like, they're the Draugr in the game, which is a D&D reference. They initially misspoke and called it the Durger. And so that's canonically how it's pronounced in the game, is Durger. And that's kind of how a lot of the story evolved, was someone said something at one point of, that's how it's going to be. And they just never bothered going back and changing. It's like, no, we said it once. That's how it's going to be going forward.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's part of the reason why I don't care. I can see why. It's like the disconnect between me wanting to at least even tell like a humorous story, even then I'm like, that's not what I would go with.
I like some you'd see in RPG Maker, which I know they made it through RPG Maker, but like I mean like one of the games, like whatever the newest one is, like you just find it and you're like, okay, cool.
You burp and then you go.
Well, that's me. That's what. But okay, I get it. Good. All right, next one.
That's what I'm saying. And this is a good 2-hour joke.
Yeah,
this is a fucking hilarious 2-hour joke.
Yeah,
I hated this game. Like, I'm gonna play through it. I don't understand why you hated it. It felt like a 30-hour game. I swear to God. It's like, how many hours did you take to beat it? What did your save hours say?
I think mine was 6.5. That was the last time I saved.
I fell asleep plenty of times doing this shit. And mine's like 9 hours.
Oh, a little sleepy?
Yeah, this fucking game put me to sleep. Like I think I played like 9 hours and I think.
There was a couple annoying parts, I will admit, but for the most part, like if you like turn-based combat, which I'm like hit or miss with turn-based combat, I mostly don't love it, but like in certain games, it's fine. This one, I mean, I like this type where it's not just like 4 dudes standing there and you just press attack. Like you have to do a little mini.
No, I get that, and that's fine, but it's
that stuff was actually fun. I was having a good time like doing that and like finding all the enemies and stuff. If you find all the enemies, you level up pretty quickly, and the rest of the game is pretty much a breeze. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't have a bad time with the gameplay, at least. Just the story was like dragging me down.
I didn't care that the running was like always the
running was stupid.
Yeah, that was annoying. We can go on mechanics more, but tell me about this Kickstarter. I know about the Kickstarter happening. I don't know details of it.
So the second game went to Kickstarter and part of the other reason why there's a lot of setup in this game that just never gets brought up again.
Yeah, because it fucking says on the goddamn title screen, Chapter 1 of this fucking saga, because we just need to keep going. Sorry.
Yeah. So it's because it's setting up for the second game. The second game, the full title is The Magical Realms of Tir na Nog, Escape from Necron 7, Revenge of the Cuchulainn, the official game of the movie, Chapter 2 of the Hoops Barkley saga. And Adrian is so checked out right now already. And
this is the most pretentious, dumbass joke I've ever heard in my entire life.
I did too. But no, the whole setup for the Kickstarter is... Fuck you.
Sorry, go ahead.
They wanted to make a bigger game. They wanted it to be kind of more of like a kind of roguelike action-y style game while still being 2D. Create a bit more of a focused plot and idea. Still have a little bit of that kind of joking kind of parody to it that this one did, but a lot more focused. And then it ran into that trap that every Kickstarter runs into when it's run by a bunch of unprofessional hacks, is that it kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And they're like, okay, we're going to go ahead and do like the Borderlands idea. Just randomized loot everywhere. You're going to find tons of random stuff. And then it's like, oh, we were working on this one game mechanic that seemed really cool. So now we're just expanding this game mechanic. And it got to a point where it kept expanding so much that it's still growing, and then halfway through, basically the whole team
God, it's so big!
Oh my God, dude, it's gonna be like an 80-hour fucking RPG. I'm sure you're really excited about that, Adrian.
I don't know. No, I'm not playing it.
It's not. Well, it doesn't exist.
Well, it doesn't exist.
I know. Thank God.
Spoilers, that ain't happening.
But yeah, so this was run.
How much money did it make on the Kickstarter?
Made a lot, I think.
As of right now, because you can still pre-order the game through Kickstarter, it made $120,000.
What were they asking for initially?
They were asking for
$10.
I can't see that initially because of they were asking for $35,000 originally.
Now, are they being assholes about it? What's because I hate this game, so please justify me hating it if they're like assholes or something.
It's called A Lot of the People Left. So there was a lot of infighting between the creators, which caused basically everyone
I
to
want
splinter
Durgers
off.
more in this game. I want Durgers. I'm being an asshole. I really just did not like this game.
Planet Barkley. It's a planet. It's his head. The planet's the shape of his head.
I know. Every time I booted this stupid ass game up, I know I kept seeing Chapter 1. And I just wish you told me that. I was like, oh, this is not completed, by the way, because I would have been like, all right, cool. Now I know that. Because now I just got more pissed after that. And I'm like, oh. And I knew, like I said, I knew it was chapter 1, so obviously it's not going to end with a fucking closed ending. But I'm like, oh, now I'm even more pissed because that was.
It has a closed enough.
It tells its story. This is the story of Charles Barkley.
Did a super dunk. He exploded, killed Shadow Barkley. Michael Jordan got shot and turned into slime. Or something, and then
making me play Doki Doki, which I fucking loved, to this.
Hoops Barkley and Cyberdwarf are on a spaceship.
You hold on. David was on a really good tear lately. I love Doki Doki Literature Club. Like that's like, and I mentioned this. I reposted one of those like 5 games like that. If someone wanted to play, like get your like taste, I put that in my top 5. I'm like that's a good way to understand what I like. I fucking loved fucking Bloodstained so much, so I bought a bunch of Castlevania games, and you got this, and it just pissed me off.
Well, you know, I mean, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose.
Your gore's still good right now, so we'll see how long that goes.
I have to play Watch Dogs 2, and probably
if I pick something bad, it'll be bad.
Point, so.
At least Watch Dogs 2 is fun. At least if you don't give a fuck about the story. No, it wasn't. But anyway.
I hope David's so pissy that he'll just be like, I fucking hate that game anyway. It fucking sucks.
He has a giant smile to go, this good shit. I hate this game.
It's cringy, bro. It's a bunch of dogs watching. You didn't play it, did you?
Bunch of dogs watching. I'll tone it down. I'm sorry. So no. So there's a lot of infighting.
Turn it up.
Turn it up.
Hey, do it.
But yeah, so a lot of infighting.
I'm trying to quote the Emperor. Can you?
Oh, I tried to quote Beavis.
Yeah. Quoting David.
Do it.
Oh yeah, hey, do it. Do it. I forgot.
Infighting. Okay.
There was infighting.
There was a lot of infighting, and basically most of the people left the project to go on do other things. There's still one guy trying to go ahead and finish this up, but as you can imagine, pretty much not going to happen.
Yeah.
There's one guy. Can you imagine one guy trying to fucking make Borderlands?
Borderlands. Oh, I wish it was fucking Borderlands. Imagine there's a Borderlands game.
Are people pissed about it?
Made right now that is Barkley.
Are people pissed about it? Is that like a whole legacy about it?
Yeah, people are rip shit.
Of course, they fucking spent $120,000 and ain't getting shit for it. I'd be pissed.
Exactly,
especially if my Meat game ain't coming out.
And it's one of those things that, I mean, even if you go to the Kickstarter now, there's still people posting about feeling ripped off.
Did you put on the Kickstarter?
6 years
no,
later.
This happened way back in 2012.
What's the last update?
The last update was...
It started in 2012.
2019, July 5th, and it was talking about a playable demo for an entirely different game.
I love the playable over this game now.
It's Resident Evil 3. The guys are working on Barkley's Chapter 2 or whatever.
But there was an update still in 2019 that does go over some of the combat game design. So it is still actively being worked on by the one dude who's still around. It's just... It's probably not going to happen. Bless this dude's heart for fucking trying. He is doing his damnedest.
Bless his heart for taking all that money and not making a game. Bless his little heart.
Well,
what a good guy.
This was a team. This was a lot of people that got together.
Yeah, that's as much as we know. I said it was actually just one guy, and he's lying.
With like split personalities.
Well, do we know any of these actual people, or was he just...
One of them, the guy that I think wrote the game, you know what he made? What? He made those Dilbert videos on YouTube.
Oh yeah, I did hear about that.
Yeah. Which I watched out. Yeah, I was like, see, that's a good ass joke. That's a good joke. 2 minutes and we're out. Fucking brilliant. Not fucking 6-7 hours long.
Yeah, I guess the guy that made the music obviously is somebody, because the music was really good.
I actually do like it, and I kind of wish they stuck with it. I like that it did whatever, Come On and Slam is the final battle music.
Yeah, that was good. One thing I thought was really funny is just like all the sprites and all the environments. Like, I didn't notice a lot of them, but I did notice like a few of them were just like obviously ripped from other games.
Oh, like Master Chief.
Like the
Well, Master Chief ain't from any pixelated game, I don't think. Unless there's some JRPG that has Master Chief in it randomly, that'd be great. But no, that's not what I mean. I mean like actual sprites ripped from other games.
Yeah, like they have the succubus from this guy in there, the T-Rex from Primal Rage, the Shadow Barkley, the first form is actually Kefka, just kind of recolored.
The only one I noticed was the Moonwalker Michael Jackson.
That's for Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan is. He has the little hat on. I thought it was good. And like the zombies, I think, are also from Moonwalker. Yeah, like you see like a zombie baller later or whatever.
And then Hoops' in battle sprite is actually Eddie. Yep.
Yeah, Streets of Rage. Skate, right? Isn't it?
Yep. Yeah, Eddie Skate Hunter.
Yeah.
See, that leads me to go like, and I get that they made this game and it did well, that's fine, but it's like, how are they gonna like tackle a full-on game being all original and charging for it?
I guess that was
the problem.
Logically, like, come on.
Well, like, they did pretty well with the game mechanics. I thought it's just like they didn't have the money or time to actually make sprites, and
that's
stuff.
what I'm saying though. But I'm saying is that
took
a lot less effort.
I know that took a lot less effort because they didn't have the money or anything, and they were giving the game away for free at the time, right? So it's not just free now; it was always free.
How old were they?
How
old were they?
10, 11.
Oh, you muted your mic.
12. I'll dub it.
I can't find any confirmation of what their ages are.
They're probably.
I know one of them at least went out to go be a family man. Bort. That's why he left the project. He's just like, fuck it. I got a wife and kids now.
That's Nicolas Cage in The Family Man.
Yeah, The Weatherman. That's another movie with Nicolas Cage. And in the Ghost Rider Man. That's his name. Yeah. The Man trilogy.
National Treasure Man.
Oh, he was gonna be Superman also.
Oh, there you go.
So he did. And
the Mandingo.
Wait a second.
And the Mandingo.
Oh, the Wicker Man. The Wicker Man. There you go.
Yeah.
The Man trilogy. You just figured it out. We're talking about Nicolas Cage now, by the way. Not Barkley Shut Up and Jam Gaiden.
Yeah.
Chapter 1 of 14. The Hoops Saga continues, or whatever it's called.
So, did you know about the backstory before going into it, David?
About the Kickstarter, yeah, because that's been stuff that's been kind of happening with, like,
Guru Larry talked about him.
Yeah, Guru Larry talked about it. Justin Wang talked about it.
See, I watched his. I was telling Gores, whenever I get super antsy in a game, or if I need to know how close I am to being done, I'll watch a playthrough and I'll kind of just skip through. I'm like, all right, an hour and a half. So I was just following his. I'm like, please God, how close am I? And I was just playing along with that. I almost skipped the entire fucking b-ball dimension because I was like that annoyed with it. I was like, because you could skip past it if you want. You don't have to do it.
Oh yeah. You don't ever need to blow the whistle thing or whatever. So.
Yeah. So and I didn't even bother with that. And I was like, why is he like so much farther away from me after I just did this? And he's like, oh, because he went and did that. I was like, all right, I'll fucking go do that, I guess, and did all that. That was actually kind of a fun little part. I like the art.
Yeah, that was a fun part.
I like the art of Cyberdwarf. Kissing, the original art of it's like, oh, that dude looks fucked up.
Yeah.
Which I will say, that area pissed me off for one reason. I wasn't
the
following
ball, right? Training the ball.
Yeah,
yeah.
I spent so much money. I was like, what the fuck? What do I get out of this? And I came and looked it up. It's like, oh, fuck me.
It was a joke.
I realized
that's a funny joke. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, I realized like going into. I was like.
It's a money sink. It's just like fucking get rid of all your money.
And there's a lot of things like that in the game, like the rope that you find when you're on fucking Diabetes Island there. You can go ahead and tie that.
So that
when the guy said we need to find the guru of diabetes or whatever, I'm like, is it gonna be Wilford Brimley?
that was a good one too.
Yeah, it was Brimley's name backwards. It was like Yul, whatever, however you say it.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. There are funny jokes in here, but it's buried. Yeah. Like I had to fucking dig for that shit.
My favorite joke, can I say? I said earlier.
We've been waiting the entire time for this.
The best joke in the game. It wasn't even a joke. It was just something Michael Jordan says. Before you go to Diabetes Island, Michael Jordan shows up randomly and shoots Hoops with a gun, and then Barkley's like, "What did you do? What did you do?" And then Michael Jordan's like, "Don't worry, Barkley, he's not dead. I just shot him with type 2 diabetes."
The one they can't cure.
The one that you can't cure. I expect because the entire game they have like the debuffs and stuff. So diabetes is one. Asperger's.
Yeah,
is
I'll say that some of those jokes did not fucking age well.
Yeah, no. It's definitely you have to go in with a certain sense of humor, I guess. Understand the fucked up sense of humor.
Edgelord, yeah.
Yeah. So that's fucked up when he shot him with type 2. I'm like, why? Like, why don't you just shoot him? No, I shot him with type 2.
So he'll die in an hour.
So, yeah, you better say goodbye, and they just let him leave. By the way, can I say the portrait from Michael Jordan is really fucking funny? How small his head is.
Yeah.
Like
I think but what sucked is that right after that diabetes thing, it was like that little undermine thing. That mine sucked ass. I hated doing that mine. I kept fucking up on my keyboard and dying in that.
Yeah,
going through the sugar area. Yeah, that was fucking horrible.
Yeah, horrible.
Hiroshima.
Yeah, that was really annoying because if you get even just a little too close to the sugar, it just fucking. I do. Can I say the fail screen though is really funny? The first time I got the fail screen, I was just like, "That's like my type of humor."
And Kurt Cobain.
It's just a tear goes down Barkley.
And then Kurt Cobain.
It's just Kurt Cobain. I'm like, what? I'm gonna laugh too.
Yeah, some of the jokes, and the Kobe Bryant one, bad timing on that.
Yeah,
I killed the game. It was 12 years ago. This game came out.
I took pictures of that.
For us to play it.
I took a picture of that when I was on Twitter. I didn't know what was going on, so I was like, "Oh no, Kobe Bryant's tomb!" And then I had to fight Kobe Bryant, and then I took a picture like I killed him.
Yeah, when he says like I killed Kobe Bryant, I was like.
Yeah.
Well, you kill other superstars later, so that's cool.
But can I also, speaking of deaths, that's actually one thing that the story is definitely, very, very hit and miss, especially with the humor.
Glad you admit that.
But can I just say that
Wilford
Brimley's death was actually kind of a touching scene.
No, because they didn't even address it. They didn't even say thank you. He just fucking left.
About who?
Wilford Brimley.
Oh yeah, that was weird because then he just like detaches himself and he just dies.
And then he's like, "All right, we gotta go."
I swear I thought it was gonna turn into something funny. Like I thought it was gonna be like a.
I thought it was a good scene.
Thing, something.
They don't say. They just walk away.
Yeah, they're like, "Fuck Wolf." Yeah, and they don't say thank you.
They don't.
I think they say probably thank you before.
No, they don't. They just go. He's like, I do all this, and they just fucking.
No. I mean before they hook them into the machine, and then you.
I don't even think they do.
No, they don't.
I don't remember. They don't.
They just leave. I was like, that took away anything from that.
No, they definitely don't say it after. Wilford Brimley just dies. It's like, oh well.
I like it though, because Barkley throughout the whole game is a raving fucking asshole. And so it kind of fits to that of Wilford Brimley kind of dies basically a thankless death after.
You're just saying that because I made a note of it saying that it was thankless. Now you're making that up.
No, I was going to say that until you kept going into it.
But didn't you just say they said thank you?
No, I didn't.
No, but that's so because there were people that are super thankful and super realist about all that stuff too.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know. I like that scene. I also like the scene at the very end with what Gore was kind of mentioning, the fucking chaos dunk that happens at the end. Just because I am a sucker for those. All right, we're going to have the people kind of segment off in order so that way everyone else can go ahead and leave to safety. I'm a sucker for those kinds of scenes. Yeah. Like I thought that was kind of neat. Charles, stays behind to fight his shadow self and finish the job. Belfios goes ahead and fights the Monstars himself, and I like setups like that. I like those kind of tropes. So for me, I kind of liked it. I can see why someone would not like this game nowadays, but I had fun with this. Honestly,
I hope I just tried explaining it for the past fucking half hour.
Yeah, that's a big no for me, dog. Well, it's like a mid no for me. I didn't feel anything at the end. I was like, oh okay.
Oh, I felt pretty good. It was over.
Yeah, it was over. Yeah.
Now, out of quick curiosity, did you guys get to Death Temple?
Yeah.
Is that the one where you have to get the key? Yeah, I didn't get the key. You talk about the one where you have to find a key and then you can go to the door to the right before the final boss? Is that the one?
No, that's not a real thing. That's another thing.
Oh, it was bullshit?
Yeah, that's another bullshit thing.
All right, that's funny. I went to the door. I didn't answer the last thing the pump asked, the questionnaire, because he asked you a bunch of questions. I didn't answer the last one right because it was like Angelique something or whatever.
That's the one I messed up on too.
Yeah, and so I didn't get whatever the fuck he gives you there. He might not even give you anything.
That's
he gives you nothing. Fuck him.
Good.
God damn it. But
yeah, I fucked up on that whole door too because I went the other side and went through all that fucking thing, open door that led you to fucking.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, the Death Temple, what is that?
Death Temple is a secret area in the game. So you know how you would find the homeless people that were asking for money, and you had the guy who demanded an apology from Barkley. If you act like an asshole to all of them, and then you die, there's a secret area in the game that's kind of like a developer's room where you can go through and kind of talk to all the different people. I looked it up after beating the game because I didn't act like an asshole to everyone, so I couldn't get to it. And there's some extra little jokes in there. Again, nothing that's like, man, that's fucking a knee slapper. But I chuckled at a few of the things in there. And it was kind of neat. They talk a little bit about some of the development behind the game, but...
Yes, gore in the audience.
I was just wondering, have you ever laughed so hard you actually slapped your own knee? Because everybody says it's a knee slap. Does anybody ever slap their own knee?
You know what's funny is... for class, we were all the kids were kind of done, so we were just playing a bunch of we found George Carlin. We did we did the whole thing where he was talking about phrases that just don't mean anything anymore. Like,
right.
It's so like hotcakes. How much do hotcakes even sell? They don't sell better than fucking eggs. but they sold like eggs. It doesn't sound as good as they sold like hotcakes. Just going through all that stuff.
Yeah, but like, does anybody, I get like, it's funny you do that, but like,
I like slam my fist against my knee when I'm really.
Yeah, I fucking punch myself in the fucking face.
That's a knee pounder.
Pounding your knee.
I'm gonna pound your knee, girl.
That's
some next level shit.
So you know what? And I was also kind of jaded doing this too because I've been really want to fucking play a really good RPG lately. Right. Because I got fucking Rating
Historia. Well, Final Fantasy VII's coming. So
I got Rating Historia the last month. I've been wanting to fucking play Chrono Trigger again because I've been trying to fucking buy a new 3DS. I've been thinking about that. Played this and I'm like,
yeah.
I'm gonna put those back now because I guess I got my RPG fill for now.
No, come on. This is like a 6-hour game.
There'll be plenty of times for more RPGs later.
6 hours is like 1% of most JRPGs.
I would have preferred you picked a 100-hour JRPG to fuck with me because then I was like, all right, cool. But
like I said, I honestly picked this because I thought everyone would at least get a chuckle, have a little bit of fun with this. I was not expecting Adrian to have a hate boner for this.
Yeah, it's been a while since I played a game I hated this much.
Yeah, the last thing he hated this much was Hellboy. That was a movie. I remember. I'm being really pissed.
Yeah, you know what? I get one a year. Every year, because when did Hellboy come out?
April last year.
Oh, like early half of the year. Usually, just get it out of the way. That way, the rest of the year is just all positive vibes. You know, getting that 2017 vibe back, getting that mood back, getting that positive vibe back.
Right. You know why? Just get positive vibes.
Just get that mood back, get that vibe back.
Yeah, necky vibes and positive vibes.
Oh man.
Well, you know what's funny about Hellboy? I know we're talking about Hellboy now, but
just fuck me up, dude.
You bring the Hellboy up is that it's funny that Hellboy,
you brought it up.
I brought it up, but you talked about it. Hellboy. If you think about Hellboy 2 came out 12 years ago, and it came out like a week before Iron Man did.
Yeah.
So that's the movie that started the MCU, and then the Hellboy reboot came out a week before Avengers Endgame.
Yeah, we mentioned that. I think we mentioned that on the podcast.
Did we mention that?
Yeah.
Which ended. It didn't end the MCU, but in the span of that time, it took them 12 years to make a Hellboy movie, and you just fucking leave like, fuck that movie. It sucked my ass.
God. And what's nice about Hellboy is that put a sour taste for Hellboy in me, where it's like I know the first two are amazing. I don't want to watch them right now. I'm gonna take a little break from it.
To be honest, I don't know if you'll like the first two.
I'll like them more knowing this is the
They're
fucking
very
shit.
weird, but like it's like perfect weird.
I like the first one. The second one was kind of eh.
What did you think?
Really? The second one's great.
What did you think?
The second one should have got an Oscar for production design. That movie is great.
What did you think I would have thought of the Lodge? I know we're getting movie talk.
I think you like it, but there's a lot of like inconsistencies in its logic, and you'll see.
I fucking loved it.
Oh, you loved it? Really?
Yeah, I loved it.
Oh, I didn't know you saw it. I really liked it too. There's some things in there that I'm just like.
Yeah, they don't make sense.
They don't make fucking sense. But I really like that movie.
2 things I want to make note, and we'll go back to fucking stupid ass Barkley. 2 things. One is right the second after that movie ended, I was kind of hoping there'd be a moment where someone like, fuck, I hate it. That was kind of like that, but second it ended, credits. I hear some woman in the audience, what happened?
What do you mean, what happened? That's somebody that does not pay attention throughout the entire movie.
I almost fucking lost my shit. It was literally just like the middle. I always sit in the back row, far back. I just heard like woman middle of the row, off the opposite side. What happened?
What? I don't get it. What was going on your phone? Was it older?
Which it's probably yeah.
It was an older couple. They're just like, that was the worst movie I've seen ever. I'm like, what the fuck?
And we'll get yeah, but dude, it set up that big moment that happens at the beginning. Gasps. Yeah. I'm like, god damn, we're getting right to it.
Yeah.
I will say it's funny because her and I contrasted significantly because she was screaming, "What happened?" Me, very very rarely does it ever happen where, whenever when it gets like you're at the end of the movie, but they want to keep going. And you're just you're like, please stop, just stop right the fuck now, just stop it. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, if you motherfuckers stop now, you got some fucking balls. And then 10 seconds later, credits. I'm like, woo, what happened?
Perfect ending. What happened?
God damn it.
That was the worst movie I've
seen.
I fucking loved it. That was so up my ass. Like, I fucking loved it.
Oh, it's okay. Yeah, David, just go up his ass. You can watch it.
No, like that. No, like that. That stuff is exactly the stuff I like. It's the weird shit that
I figured it would be, but I was wondering how you feel about some of the logical leaps.
There were some logical leaps, yeah, and I know specifically like one scene we're probably talking about.
And it obviously saw Hereditary. I'll say that because there's some shit in there. Where I'm like, woo! Like I know it filmed like right after I think Hereditary got done, so it was already written before not got done, got released. But whatever. Anyway, we should talk about Barkley Shut Up and Jam Gaiden.
I know. I want to get that out of the way because I want to talk about something I liked.
Yeah. Just bring it back up for you. But now let's bring it back down.
No, it wasn't like the worst thing. Like I obviously I played. There was definitely worse. It was a mix up. If I was playing on a platform I liked, like if this somehow was like on 3DS or something, I probably would have enjoyed it more.
Right.
I just don't like playing on my PC that much. 'Cause I had to play on my Surface too, which made it super uncomfortable.
You could have set up your controller and used Joy to Key.
I heard that. I'm not gonna set all that up.
I was gonna do that, but
I also heard that it was complicated to play.
Is it?
It's not that bad.
Because you have to, like when you're playing with Cyber Dwarf, having to push like
the
combos and all that. That was weird. I was like, I'm not gonna bother.
Can we talk about how awesome Vince was and how I immediately knew his ass wasn't gonna be in the fucking party? Because his laser was just like
his fucking move
everything.
Was so goddamn good. I was like, oh fucking, I just wanted to keep this guy, and especially when you had those little fucking tiny assholes, the ones that you'd miss some shots on. You're able to sweep through them like really quick. I'm like, oh fuck yeah.
Yeah, and then of course his ass disappears. I'm like.
And I know that this is actually one thing that I hate. This is one of the tropes I hate the most in fucking JRPGs, is that character that leaves the party. Especially where it's like, all right, I just got done buying this guy some sweet gear, it's all set, and fucking leaves the party. And
they don't give it back to you. Like, they just give it back to me. Fuck it.
Granted, this game does give it back to you.
No, I'm saying in general when they're...
Yeah, in general, no, they usually don't fucking give it back to you.
I didn't notice if it gave it back to me.
I'm pretty sure I gave him something right before that, too. I was like, this guy's fucking cool, and then just fucking...
Yeah.
It's like, shit, if I would have known he was going to leave the party, I wouldn't have bothered buying him the gear for the 2 fights before this. Shit.
Can I say also, I really like that you can immediately equip your items right when you buy them.
Yeah.
That was cool. That's just a little, like, what is it called? Like, when you make it so that it's easier for the player. Yeah, but this is like a...
Ease of use.
Term. Yeah, it's quality like quality of life. There you go. All right, that's right?
Yeah.
Quality of life? Okay. That's just like a nice little thing. Like, oh, I don't have to go to the fucking stupid menu, which is that RPG Maker menu.
Yeah, I hate that RPG menu because that was so complicated.
I played RPG Maker on the PS2, and it looked a little bit different, but I just played it kind of recently on 3DS, and it just looks like every game you play is just like has the same menu. It's like, oh my god.
Yeah, it's weird sometimes.
And that's the thing, is like that's part of the reason why I did have fun with this game. I mean, the story, again, it's hit and miss on certain things, but the gameplay is fantastic.
I really like the gameplay. I think it's fun. I like the sprite work. Dude, the little motions they do when the victory animations.
Yeah.
Barkley's is like he does this shit or whatever.
And then Balthios is like
Balthios is like it's weird.
I did like the what do you call it? The music. That was fun little music to have.
Yeah, music was great. Yeah, the victory theme.
Yeah,
I guess.
But no, I like the diversity of the characters and how they play in combat. The only thing that I thought was a little frustrating is just the fact that there's no real evolution to your abilities. I mean, every character gets new things along the way. Like when you kill Ghost Dad, you get like the ghost buff.
I forgot about Ghost Dad.
That's a joke that did not age well either.
Yeah. Maybe he wasn't such a bad guy. Oh, well.
Oh, no. Well, this version of Cosby, maybe he wasn't a bad guy. If you think about it like that. I mean, he looked like Sephiroth in that one scene.
Yeah.
Who's a bad guy. So, okay.
Maybe. Yeah, so I mean, you get different things, and then you also get like the holy dunk for Barkley at some point. But it's like it's almost never worth using any of the other abilities you get. The double team is amazing.
Yeah,
it's 10 fucking BP and does an insane amount of damage, especially you get.
It's even better when you get to 2 balls, right?
Exactly, because you're dealing double damage with it. So you're dealing 4 hits per cycle with it, which is phenomenal. Even for a lot of the other characters, some of their abilities just are not better to use. Like for Hoops, he has like 3 different gut attacks he can do, but I pretty much always use the multi-hitting one. 1, because you can switch targets when one is dead, and 2, because once you look at the kind of breakdown of damage, even the big soup up shot that you can do with him still does not do quite as much as the multi-hitting one. Any character that had a multi-hitting attack was pretty much better, except for when you used Balthios. His first attack, the one that sends out the little burst energy, is always better, especially if you have the snail saber. Did you guys get that one?
Yeah, when you make it so that the snail and the fox go, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they bang.
Yeah, which that was also.
I just went with whatever Vince told me to say. I was like, all right.
Yeah, that's basically what I did too. I was like, all right, this is going to be stilted and weird. Let's go with that. Why not?
And I predicted that joke was going to be like, it's stilted and weird, but you like it. Like, oh my God, you know me. Oh my God, I love him. Oh my God, you know me.
So it was kind of weird getting his best weapon at the very beginning of the game. Because of that, but at the same time, it's great because it also has a slower fireball animation than all the other sabers, even though when you get it at the very end, so you can build up more damage with it. So it didn't really have good ability progression, which was unfortunate, but I will say, unlike a lot of other Game Maker and RPG Maker games, it got the leveling balancing right. When you play a lot of those games, it seems like you're either never leveled enough to handle what you're at, or you're over leveled for what you're at. And I felt like the level pacing was actually done pretty well for a kind of little game like this one. You always felt like you were at the right level to handle things. At the end, it gets a little bit ridiculous, because especially if you do the B-ball dimension, you get an extra level, and it kind of skews things a little bit there. But I thought the level progression in terms of where you're at versus what the enemies are at was done pretty well.
All right.
I just oh man, I mean our levels are even, but I went to the b-ball dimension and I fucked it all up. That's a sentence. I like the stock image of just a basketball in the b-ball dimension. And you fight who do you fight in that? You fight a bunch of weird looking, fucking terrible looking sprites.
Yeah.
And then you fight Kevin Garnett.
Yeah.
Who's just in Uncut Gems. Yeah, KG.
Oh, and that's the other thing too.
He had that gem with him. That's why he was so hard.
In the Death Temple, it sets up that Bernie Mac is also in this universe, and he is a vampire.
All right, well, I think that was the year Bernie Mac died, though.
2008?
Yeah.
Was it?
Pretty sure. So that one, now that one, too soon.
Yep, 2008.
Oh, rip.
I don't know why I
when
know
in
that.
2008?
I don't know why.
When
Well,
in
maybe
2000
it came out like a month before. Maybe it might have been early. It might have been like, wait, when did this come out? Like January? So it might have been. It might have been
January
early.
22nd.
Okay, so all right, Oh, that's right. I found out that's the same day Heath Ledger died. We were talking about like I was trying to figure out because he was hating the game in one of our calls. I was like, I want to see like just to compare what games came out in January 2008. So I put January 2008 immediately. First thing that pops up is Heath Ledger dead.
One of the worst days of my life. I didn't even know.
I was like, oh no.
I had no idea that was the worst day of my life until this many days later.
Yeah, so that sucks.
Yeah, so
in other news, Barkley showed up in Jam Gaiden's out.
Final thoughts then, I guess?
Do better.
Heath Ledger, great actor. Yeah, it's just like God of War. We must be better. And snap that neck.
I don't know. This just felt like it just went. I get what some of the jokes were and some of them hit, and it's definitely like it's not out of our realm of humor, which is kind of the thing that kind of bums me out. It's definitely our humor. Like this is definitely stuff that we would joke about, but it went too far. They got too cocky, bros.
They got too cocky, bros. Should have been 3 hours.
And they really did actually. With Barkley too, they got too cocky,
yeah,
bros.
They got too cocky, bros. Yeah, they got way too cocky. They should have just stayed at regular cocky levels, but they went full cocky.
I get why you picked it. It's weird because I didn't think this would be something that you would genuinely enjoy. It felt like you're
literally like search the bottom of the barrel for short JRPGs that all 3 of us can play easily.
Yeah, basically.
So he was like, oh, Barkley.
I mean, if you want to play one of your JRPGs, you got to give us like 3 months advance heads up or something. Like, all right, we're gonna play this in fucking October.
Definitely, yeah.
We should probably do a scaling thing. For every 25 hours the game is, give us an extra month.
Yeah, I like that scaling. There is one JRPG I would like us to all play, but it's one of those things that, real quick, do either of you two still have a PlayStation 2 or a PlayStation 3? I never owned a PS2,
and I don't own a PS3 anymore.
I have a PS2, but I haven't used it in a little while, so I'm sure it works, though.
Adrian, go get a PS2. They're like $20.
He wants us to play Shin Megami Tensei some shit and fucking Nocturne or something.
Check if it's on
Probably
Vita.
Exactly what it is.
check if it runs on Vita.
It runs on Vita.
Well, check. No, literally. What are you doing thinking?
Checking shit.
Because I know a lot of the Persona games do run on Vita. Like you can buy the.
Well, that doesn't run on the ones I'm thinking of doesn't run natively, but it might hacked.
It's Shin Megami Tensei. I don't know why you're not saying it. We know it's Shin Megami Tensei.
Yeah, Digital Devil Saga.
Isn't that on? I could have sworn I saw that on there.
It's on the PS3.
Is it on 3DS also?
No. You're thinking of Soul Hackers.
No, there's another Digital Devil game on 3DS, I swear.
Soul Hackers.
Oh.
But it's not part of the Digital Devil.
Shin Megami Tensei It's called Digital... Wait, it's called Shin Megami Tensei Digital Devil Saga Soul Hackers.
No, it's called... It's Devil Summoner Soul Hackers.
No, it has Shin Megami Tensei in the title.
Yeah, it's Shin Megami Tensei Devil Summoner Soul Hackers.
But how about Digital Devil Saga?
What about Digital Forever?
digital.
So wait, so what's the difference with this one versus the other one, or is this a whole different game?
Oh,
I know there's Shin Megami Tensei 1, 2, 3, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
So what the fuck is this one?
So Digital Devil Saga is TLDR. The kind of whole spin-off of this one, it's not part of mainline, it's a spin-off series. It's a post-apocalyptic cyberpunk setup that is more in a Buddhist kind of concept where basically there's this endless war happening. People live in this wasteland called the Junkyard, and the whole point is that they're fighting to achieve perfect karma so that way they can be reborn into Nirvana. And
okay, rhymed there.
And there's a event that happens that causes everyone to turn into demons, and there's something that they find out that can suppress the demon energy, and so it becomes this even bigger war, and suddenly the reincarnation cycle is broken, death is permanent, people start eating each other, chaos ensues.
It's like the daughter party.
Sounds like Barkley Shove and Jam Gaiden.
Barkley too.
But no, it's one of the ones that I feel has the most streamlined story. A lot of the Shin Megami Tensei games go off the rails, and I feel like this is one of the ones that is honestly more of a compact, consistent storyline. And I also feel it's one of the ones that has the most gratifying combat, because throughout the whole game, it is consistently hard. It's not one of those games that you just mash through. You have to strategize for even just trash mobs. They require strategy.
I
ain't got time for that. My sanity is intact right now. I don't want it to fucking snap.
Also, I don't own a PS2 nor PS3.
Well, I own a PS3, but it's not a backwards compatible one. So.
Well, they have it digitally that you can buy on PS2. So.
I don't have a PS3.
I was thinking about getting a PS3 eventually, but that's not happening for a while. So you better think different.
I never wanted.
If you want to look at me, just like look and see if it's a Vita game I could play, because I know some of the Shin Megami Tensei or Persona games play on Vita. I was looking into that recently.
If you said like a Shadow Hearts game, then I'd be down, because I want to play those games.
So
Shadow Hearts was good.
All right, so that's Barkley Shut Up at Jam Gaiden. In 2 weeks we got the Frog Fractions episode.
Oh, speaking of which, that's another thing. Part of my last final thoughts. Can I just say I also hated Diabetes Island because it turned into an adventure game, and I was really fucking ripshit about fucking examine everything, take everything, use everything, and there was some cute little dialogue with some of that, but that infuriated the shit out of me.
Yeah, like Baltius is like, "Who the fuck you talking to, Barkley?" At one point. That was funny. I like that, because I like that it's almost like a small celebration of gaming. Just a small one, because it just has a bunch of different genres in there and a bunch of different characters from other games and stuff. And of course it has a bunch of NBA stuff in there. I mean, don't go in expecting, oh man, I love NBA and I love JRPGs. This must be the perfect fit, because besides them being named the NBA superstars, it's just.
Especially the best NBA superstar. Well, sorry, WNBA
Larry
superstar,
Bird?
Juana Man.
Oh, Juana Man. I thought you were going to say Larry Bird, because Larry Bird's a priest and gets shot and dies. I'm like, oh, damn. Yeah, Juana Man, who has like a romance with Barkley at one point, which I'm like, all right. Someone like Juana Man, I guess. Somebody in the world like Joanna, man, and they made that game.
Yeah, so Frog Fractions in 2 weeks. That horrible
another shit show.
And then after that,
two shit shows in a row, and they're both because of David.
I'm going to try really hard to think of something for you guys for May to kind of apologize for this. Mostly to Adrian, because fuck Gore, but...
I didn't hate it.
Yeah, Gore's like, oh, you're defending. Yeah, it's not bad. Fuck you.
Fuck you. It sucks.
But no, I'll think of something interesting that is genuinely...
We'll see how... You might have just got the payment back with Watch Dogs 2, but I think that game is actually genuinely fun, even if you don't even fuck about the story. Just fuck around in that game. Yeah, so Watch Dogs 2 is on March 26th. Gore, now is your time to speak about a game if it's a game that's over 25 hours, which I know it's not, because you're not going to do something like that in April.
No, it's not.
Okay, so we'll talk about that next month.
It was originally a long game, but I have a different game now.
Are you substituting that game, or are you going to tell us?
No, I substituted already. Because if Final Fantasy VII didn't come out in April, it came out in March, then it would have been... Do you want me to tell you what game it would have been?
If you want. If you're not going to use it.
I might still use it, but I'll tell you now. And I might still use it in the future, but right now I'm definitely not in April. My game for April was gonna be Nier Automata, but
oh man,
which is like a 30-hour game if you do everything. So, but because Final Fantasy is coming out, Cyberpunk was also coming out, but I thought maybe like somehow we could fit it in there.
Yeah,
but Final Fantasy VII is gonna be really long. It has 2 Blu-ray discs. I'm like, no. I'm like, fuck.
I'm slowly reconsidering, not, and we're not really bad right now, but I'm slowly reconsidering the guidelines to how we do games gone by, just because my new job's also going to have me working a lot more. After summer, once I hit full-time swing into that, it's going to have me working a lot more, so I'm like, I don't know how much time I'm gonna have to dedicate to like however many hour games.
Sure.
So
We just do 10-hour games for now.
well, or we can just start,
When you start.
or we can give a heads up with even earlier. I'm thinking maybe in 20 hours
Yeah.
it's gonna be like that. As long as we have the heads up, like the month heads up for bigger games, that's fine. Because chances are if we're doing a bigger game too, it's one of the games that were on my backlog anyway. So fuck it.
Yeah. That's what I was trying to do with my games. Dead Space was not on my backlog, but God of War definitely was. And
Of course, it'll hold on to fucking Dead Space forever.
Well, Dead Space. I mean, I didn't have any horror games in my backlog
Yeah.
anyway, and I had.
Yeah,
to.
Blair Witch. But that's not a year old, actually. Never mind.
Yeah.
But also, that's not on my backlog.
Hey, that could be a game's gone by for this year. Keep your play your cards right.
Yeah, it's also like a 3-hour game from what I heard. So it's one of those games you could fucking whip through in a day. Like,
There's a lot of horror games. I kind of wish there was like more time for that time because like Condemned 1 and 2, I would love to go through.
oh, I love Condemned 1. Condemned 2, I only got halfway through. But there's one part of Condemned 2 is fucking terrifying. It's one of the most terrifying things in video game history.
No, I had my one terrifying moment in Condemned 2, and I never even played the fucking campaign. It was I was playing multiplayer in that game.
And you turned around and someone was there.
Yeah, I turned around. There was a pig-faced guy was like right here. I'm like, oh, what the fuck?
The multiplayer was awesome in that game. I knew somebody just online that was like from Halo 2 days. That I just knew from when we switched to 360 and stuff. That he went to Condemned 2 multiplayer, and this was like a year after the game came out, so it was already dead. And I had it. I was like, I'll play some Condemned 2. And he's like, all right, cool. And it was actually really fun. It was just like the regular people and the killers or whatever. But it was actually pretty fun. Yeah. So Condemned 2 has a terrifying. It involves a bear. I'll just say that.
Oh, I know the moment. I love watching gameplay. I never actually
terrifying.
played it, but I've watched gameplay of that, and I fucking love it.
Fucking terrifying. It's just like
Maybe
fuck all
that
these hobo shit.
Condemned 2, you don't even really need Condemned 1 to play, so maybe that'll happen.
No, you don't really. I mean, they kind of inform you what happened in Condemned 1 anyway.
Yeah, so maybe
in Condemned 2.
I feel like that'd be funny to put David through. I don't think he'd necessarily enjoy that game, but I think he would. Some of the moments you get a kick out of.
Yeah, especially since Condemned 2 also came to PS3, because Condemned 1 was a 360 exclusive. So
Is it on PC?
Yeah,
it might be on PC. It might be on PC now, but I think
I
at the time
have it for PC actually.
Yeah, that's what all I'm saying is like Condemned 2 came to PS3, so people that are only PS3 would be like, "What the fuck is going on?" So they had like a recap thing.
Shout out to Condemned 1 for fucking up achievements day one on Xbox.
I don't remember what happened.
They had 970 achievement score on
Condemned
1 because they saved 30 for DLC, but that was back then when they're like, "Oh no, you're supposed to add DLC after the 1,000." So it's the only retail game that's under 1,000 gamer score for a disc.
And they never made DLC also, right?
Nope, so it's stuck at 970.
Yeah, 970. That's weird. Sorry, Stallion or whatever your name is.
Yeah, I'm sorry, even though you're fucking like a 2 million gamer score right now.
Yeah, but his gamer score looks weird now. It just said 2 million before, but now it says like 2,970,000.
Let me see what his gamer score is right now. I'm just curious.
2,970,000. It's probably really high. It's probably at least 500.
Let's see.
Maybe 600. I know somebody on my friends list that is Achievement Hunter.
2,114,965.
Holy shit.
Yeah, there's somebody on my achievement list that has like I think like 700,000 gamer score. And I looked at because they have the little weekly and monthly like tracking for achievements who has the most, and he's always on number one. He has like 45,000 right now.
He's not number one gamer score anymore though.
Yeah, it was. I don't care.
This one guy has 2.4 million.
Whoa, what's his name?
Smirnov.
Oh, of course, my favorite, Smirnov.
Anyway, that's games gone by.
Smirnoff beer.
I did like when he was fighting Jordan last second, he quotes the Space Jam song.
Oh yeah.
Are you ready to fight? Come on and slam, and welcome to the jam.
Yeah, it beats him in terms of the green slime.
Goodbye.